I know it's been a while and this game happened last week, but it doesn't mean it shouldn't be done. The Lakers are 1-2 to start off the year, and everyone wants to talk about how Westbrook can be integrated to a roster that already lacks shooting. So today we go over what we've learned already about the Lakers offense. To start off the game, Frank Vogel had LeBron off the ball and Bazemore as a screener. This gave James a chance to get downhill with Curry on him, and this produced mixed results, but attempt to get a mismatch while getting James in the paint is always a good idea. Overall, LeBron had a great game, shooting 5 for 11 from 3 to score 34 points. And to start the season, albeit 3 games, he's shooting 48% from 3. If there's one thing we know about LeBron, he favors his left hand and the left side of the court. Out of the 12 jump shots he made opening night, 9 were from the left side of the court, and these included tough fadeaways and step back threes. The second major positive is the overall upgrade in IQ. Having Rajon Rondo be the facilitator off the bench helps the other 4 be in the right positions to succeed. Right as he enters into the game, he attacks Bjelica using the pick and pop to draw 2. You would have liked to see Melo move the ball around here, but he shoots the 3 instead. But with slower big men coming off the bench, this pick and pop will be open and can create more ball movement. On this possession, he points at Monk to move, and you can see him move out to the 3-point line. This gives AD space to spin and get a dunk. And before the quarter ends, he points at Carmelo to come because he has Bjelica again. Iguodala recognizes this and takes Melo so Bjelica doesn't have to be in the pick and roll. Rondo recognizes the mismatch with AD and gives him the ball. Again, you would have liked to see AD attack Bjelica off the dribble, especially when he did it earlier in the game on 2 different possessions. And the Lakers are likely going to need AD to create more with his ball handling due to him being out on the 3-point line more often. Before we move on, I want to show this possession. At the end of the third quarter, LeBron recognizes Steph trying to put Melo in the pick and roll, so he takes Melo. To combat that, the Warriors set a double high screen and roll, and Steph crosses back to the middle, which gets LeBron out of position, but AD recognizes it and in perfect defensive position to make sure Steph doesn't get the layup. This is why superstars are superstars. They think the game on both ends and figure out ways to slow the opponent down and get their points. And with LeBron running the first unit and Rondo with the second, there's always going to be someone on the floor that knows what's going on before the play develops. Although LeBron and AD were great, Westbrook struggled a lot. On paper, he was 4 for 13 with 8 points and a minus 23, and some of it was on him, but not all of it. He missed 4 layups, which is very unlike him, including this layup on a fast break attempt. If he doesn't miss those layups, his stat line looks a lot better and probably wouldn't be criticized as much, but regardless, he definitely has to work on his off-ball positioning. For example, after dumping it to Bazemore, he runs right in his direction instead of getting out of the play, which makes him turn the ball over. Here on the fast break, the Warriors ice, which lets LeBron get to the middle of the floor, and if Westbrook has some momentum going to the basket, he probably gets a better shot, but he misses the 3 instead. To make things worse, Vogel rolled out a brutal lineup in the second quarter with Rondo, Westbrook, Bazemore, AD, and Howard. This often led to kickouts for Westbrook or Rondo. Here, Rondo uses the in and out to get Curry thinking he's going right, but he's actually going left. Now Wiggins has to help, but with no actual shooter, he's not worried about Westbrook in the corner, which makes this an inefficient shot. With someone like Monk or Melo in the corner, this is probably a bucket. But despite that, Westbrook still got some good looks in the half court. Here, with all the attention on the James AD pick and roll, Westbrook cuts to the basket and loses the ball, but he would have had a dunk, and this will come with time. At the beginning of the third, they initiate a Bazemore-Davis dribble handoff, which leads to a Westbrook layup as the floor is spaced and he attacks Looney in the pick and roll. As the Lakers start getting more penetration, the Warriors played a zone to prevent driving lanes, and this gave the Lakers trouble. The last thing I wanted to talk about was ice for the pick and roll. In an ideal world, teams would love to ice the pick and roll every time against the Lakers, especially against LeBron and AD. Now, why is that? Well, first off, the ball handlers, which in these cases are Rondo, Westbrook, and LeBron, their first point of attack is to drive at the rim, but ice helps close that off. With a lack of shooters, the weak side defenders can come over and help, which can close off great opportunities to score like this Westbrook miss, and you can see in these clips that it does work. Here's the one subtle thing that makes ice dangerous. Big men today have gotten better at flipping screens, which makes ice harder to use. For example, here LeBron's on the semi-fast break. Now at this moment, it appears Dwight's gonna set a pick to LeBron's right, but this one subtle movement makes him set the pick to the left. The subtle flipping of the screen is one way to take advantage of ice, and back in the day when teams ice more like the Chicago Bulls, the Cavs did this to help LeBron get to the rim easier. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's still a lot of season left, so it'll be interesting to see how the Lakers use Westbrook or LeBron off ball more to get their half-court offense going. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.